Dr. Bell made me better.
So happy to see you, too.
Thanks.
Hi. Sam, I haven't seen you for a long time.
Me neither.
You look very nice today.
I wanted to say hi.
Well, hi.
Dr. Bell is compassionate.
Caring, very caring.
Dr. Bell is a wonderful teacher.
He's a brilliant man.
He cares for the whole family.
When Bailey was about 24 hours old, it became apparent that she was spiraling downwards in a quite a frenzy. And it was suggested that we transfer her to the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics, where she could be watched by a physician 24 hours a day.
It was a very intense environment, lots of machines, lots of people, and it was very intimidating.
He was sincere, he was respectful. He answered all the questions that he was able to answer for us.
It's a roller coaster ride to have a baby in our nursery. And one of the nice features about Ed's personality is that he's very calm. Ed not only teaches the residents and the nurses and his fellow colleagues good neonatology practice, he's very supportive of parents.
When we're making decisions that are affecting a baby's life and a baby's care, we very much have to keep the family in mind. And the decisions need to be made as a team, the doctors, the nurses, and primarily the families. When the residents and the medical students compliment me on my handling of families, I immediately tell them that my teacher was Dr. Bell.
I remember very well being the timid medical student who was afraid to walk into the intensive care unit and having somebody say, "Come along with me while we talk to this family." You know, newborn intensive care, especially, it's the ultimate marriage of high tech and high touch, and you've got to bring the best of both.
I've learned a lot from Dr. Bell dealing with families during the death of their children. It's a very hard time. Children are not supposed to be sick. Babies are supposed to go home and grow up and be happy. That happens a lot, thankfully, but you know, we also have babies who die. And I've learned so much about dealing with parents as a fellow when we had to talk with parents about the death of a child. It's a hard thing to talk about.
Sean lived for 16 days, and we had many ups and downs and some peaceful times and followed by crises through that whole time period. And you got to the point where you never knew that day when you walked in that room what was going to meet you. You just never knew.
It's a roller coaster ride they talk about.
We're treated very respectfully, not just by Dr. Bell, his entire staff. They helped give us as much control of the situation as we could. We had, you know, a lot of access to Sean. I really can't remember times where we couldn't have access to him.
We used to have visiting hours for parents, and we used to make them leave the room whenever we did anything at all, whenever we took an x-ray. And one day a mother said, "You know, why is that? Why do we have to leave? My child's in there, why can't I stay with him?" One of the most satisfying advances that I've seen in the case of our nurseries in recent years is not any of the high-tech advances, but just the openness to families in the nursery. This has happened all over the country, but I think we were on the forefront of this.
Ed's compassion, I think, is special, and in fact, taking care of parents is almost as important as taking care of babies at our nursery. He's developed a group of parents called the Parent Connection.
One of the most therapeutic things that Dr. Bell did for me during those early days before Hope was born was that he introduced me to another mom. And this mom had a preemie, and she happened to be from our hometown. And Dr. Bell called her. She worked near the hospital, and within a few hours she came to see me. And she brought pictures of her daughter, and she shared her story. And that was so powerful for me because it let me know that I wasn't the only one that had experienced this, and that our family could survive.
I guess I've always recognized that people can draw great strength and support from other families that have been through this.
He sees beyond the baby. He sees the baby and the family unit as a whole. He will do anything for his patients that he sees that they're in need of. He's made home visits before. He's stayed up with people, all hours of the night by their bedside because he knew they needed them.
Ed has also been a leader in international education in neonatology. And I think this is another way that his humanism is expressed. He, about 5 years ago, he led a group of us, 3 of us, to Russia to present the first international symposium in neonatology in Russia. But before we went, he convinced our Russian department here at the University of Iowa to find someone to translate the Iowa Neonatology Handbook.
If I go to Romania or Lithuania or Turkey or someplace like that, and there the impact is even more immediate because I can see every day the chance to literally save a child's life that would die if I weren't there.
I think Dr. Bell is the epitome of humanism in medicine.
Bailey is a very active, healthy, happy little 8.5-year-old. She's kind of ornery sometimes.
A lot of times when we see Dr. Bell, we ask him what he did to her. Because she's pretty feisty.
She's been the picture of health, the love of our life. Dr. Bell allowed that possibility to happen.
Hope, our daughter, turned 10 this summer, and on her 10th birthday, Dr. Bell tracked her down to wish her a happy birthday. He said, "Hope, I can't let this day go by without thinking about you and without wishing you a happy birthday."
Dr. Bell's one of the few people I know whose office is full of bulletin boards covered with the pictures of the babies he took care of as they were babies, when they were 2 years old, when they're 5 years old, as they're growing up.
It is a constant source of tremendous satisfaction and pleasure that I have the privilege of working in a job like this. I couldn't ask for a better job. It's the greatest job in the world, and I don't take it for granted. Being able to have an immediate, helpful impact on people's lives, being able to share in some of the most important moments in the life of a family. I mean, that's a great privilege.
Thank you, Dr. Bell.